I'll take them. Even hooligans won't riot in a church.
Thanks, Harry. Everett, would you go with him? Yes, sir.
Good boy.
They belong in a Negro infirmary.
There's one in Little Africa, on Minetta.
Little Africa, word. With no horses.
Where are the horses?
Osterfuckers are stolen.
Yo, you hear gunshots? I cannot.
What do we do now?
Enough of this to transfer all the patients.
Load the
Yo,
gurneys.
there's gunshots, yo. People
I'll
are
take the
dying
rest.
right now. Respect. That's gangster. Oh, because they're stupid enough not to look.
How you doing, Mr. Cleveland?
You want to see me too?
I hate this.
And where are you all going?
We're heading downtown.
We're headed to the city morgue.
What for?
Leprosy outbreak. Can't keep them at the Knick. Need to burn the bodies down there before anyone else gets it.
Nurse
You can
Elkins.
look, but about a week from now, you're going to be down on your knees trying to find where your testicles rolled off to.
Oh, man. Go ahead, Nurse Elkins.
Back away, I tell you! You'll all be damned to hell if you touch one hair on these people's heads!
Keep walking.
You'll all face the fires if I have anything to say about it, and you know I do!
One of them could be the fella that killed Penny Sears.
Hop off! You didn't even know the man!
Go ahead, Harriet. This doesn't mean that they're not still racist, but I appreciate them helping right now. But how many people have
Probably ought
died?
to go destroy someone else's place. They got all the whores turned out in the street. Fellas are running trains on them. Cops too busy to do anything about it.
Jesus Christ. Oh, his girl. That's what he's worried about. His boo. The busy flea. The busy flea. I've got to go save my little flea.
This is my assistant chief, Dr. Algernon Edwards.
Howdy, Moses Williams.
You know each other?
We were at Harvard together. Moses was the one in his year and I was the one in mine.
Hey.
Shake hands, but
He was so worried about the hospital, but as soon as he heard that his girl was in danger,
I just wanted to make sure you
I'm fine, Hurry, but you need to go.
yo, you know what she is.
just cut through to the bone. Have to sew it up in layers. We have no more anesthetic, no morphine, no cocaine. We'll just have to hold him down. He's gonna thrash. We will make do.
So basically, he knows that he has a little coke on him right now, but he
Edwards.
knows that there's a crazy night ahead of him. So he's like, do I give this to them or do I use it?
You don't have to stay with me if this is too offensive for you.
I've seen a buttock before.
A black one?
Yes, yours. When we play in the garden with the water pails and you'd run around without pants.
We were 3.
And he saw mine.
For God's sake, Neely.
Oh, y'all saw each other's buttocks?
Unbelievable.
What? Everything gone? Or it wasn't touched?
I thought for certain all this would be destroyed.
Good,
They didn't even come down here.
good.
What's sex?
What?
The babies you delivered.
Oh. 2 girls.
You've become someone I didn't expect. You did something remarkable here. To watch you today. I suppose I still thought of you as that little boy I grew up with.
If I would have knew the
The
boy
one without
next
the
door
pants.
would have been you.
The very same one. I was terrified for you today. The whole city wanting to hurt you.
And with only you to protect me.
I would have.
I have no doubt.
Ooh.
I guess it was a good thing things were happening so fast because I didn't have any time to think.
Well, you did brilliantly.
That's true.
Okay, good
When
night.
it gets
Miss
crazy.
Elkins.
My roommate's already gone to work. You can come in if you like.
Everybody's getting a little nookie nut. I'm not gonna forget that black people were just being slaughtered in the streets.
I need help taking this off.
Get right to it, eh?
Will it hurt?
I can make it painless and perfect.
Nurse Elkins, was he gone when you woke up? So they got high? How are you feeling, girl? So I'm guessing he like rubbed it on her. The soundtrack is incredible. I love it. There's your smile. Music says something else, though.
Hi. What? What?
Dang, that was quick. Oh my God, you won't believe what happened. All right, y'all. That was The Knick, Season 1, Episode 7, Get the Rope. So, just idiotic. Absolutely idiotic what happened in that episode. At the beginning, that is. The guy, the police officer that decided he was going to be a recruiter for prostitutes, approached an African-American woman because he saw her standing on the street waiting for someone and thought that she was a prostitute and tried to recruit her, and she was offended. And her dude, he definitely didn't have to stab, but he defended his woman, and they tried to save him and they couldn't. And out of anger, the white people basically attacked all the black people in a mob. Women, old men, young men, just attacking them. And what's crazy is the police were at the core of it. So it was absolute chaos that was completely out of control and nothing could be done. And the whole time I was watching it, I was thinking, I'm glad that these people are being saved, but what about all the other black people that y'all didn't get to? You know, nobody is out there saving them. And they're literally headed home, going to the park, going to work, going to meet up with a friend, and getting attacked and beaten for nothing. And I'm sure, you know what, like, I just posted Start Calling Me Dad, the previous episode, and somebody said that Typhoid Mary Mallon, was actually a real person. So I'm sure that this situation probably happened as well. And I mean, not exactly this situation, a cop recruiting whores, whatever, but one black person doing something that really pissed somebody off, and they decide they're going to take it out on every single black person they can get their hands on. That is ridiculous. It breaks my heart. It makes me sick to my stomach. Being black in the 21st century, we have a whole different mentality, you know? Algernon was treating that police officer and his mother, mourning over her son, freaking out, worried if he was going to be okay, sees the black doctor approach and has hate. The police officers heard him say he was a surgeon and he was going to get him well. He was going to do everything he could in his power. And they still are racial slurs left and right. Algernon leaves the room and with respect says, "Officers, after they were just talking disrespectful about him, you know? And like I was saying, being from the 21st century, you know, our consequences are not as severe as our ancestors were back then. And it kind of makes me feel bad because back then in the 1900s, African American people not only had to be strong, but at the same time, they had to just have, what's the word? Absolute respect and regard and fear for white people after they would speak such hate and treat them like they weren't even human. They still, yes sir, yes ma'am, pardon me, excuse me, thank you, you know? And I hope, but I would have been raised different back then, you know? But just nowadays, you know, if somebody treats me wrong, yo, I'm not about to be sweet and I'm not about to be pleasant to you. Like, I'm not. Even on these videos, man, dude, like being on YouTube, sometimes I say stuff that's not right. Sometimes I say stuff that's inaccurate. And when I get attacked by YouTube trolls, they are not getting a message back from sweet old Sierra that does these videos, man. I put in work. And you're just gonna come look through my stuff and speak negativity towards me? I do not need you to subscribe. I do not need your likes. Don't disrespect me. But that mindset would not cut it back in the 1900s. The stage, the scene, the world that this show, the Knick, is set in. But then again, with all the police brutality on African Americans that's going on right now, as a parent of black children, especially I have 3 black sons, my 11-year-old, we tell him, like, if something happens where the cops show up or you come in contact with the cops, we tell him, do not run, do not make sudden movements, you respect, you be polite, you be kind, you do everything they say. That, in a way, is reverting. You know, back to the old times where to be safe out of losing your life, getting hurt, getting injured, I'm basically telling my black child, you submit to that white police officer so you don't get hurt and I don't find you dead on the street. It's just wild. You know, we live in a crazy world. This show, it's incredible. Seeing this, I think it's important. I think that any documentary, any show, any movie that shows what my ancestors went through to get me where I am today is a big deal. So, on a lighter note, my suspicions about Cornelia and Algie were right. I mean, I kind of had both of them, and it kind of was both, you know. I couldn't believe when they went to Minetta, I think that's the African American hospital in New York City. Algernon was about to do something, and he was like, but you've never seen a black butt. And in front of everybody in there, she was like, oh, I saw your butt when we were little kids. You saw my butt too. And I love her bluntness. I love that she is not ashamed. I love that she does not have racism or that hate in her heart, which is crazy because her parents, you know what I mean, they're just privileged white people. But Cornelia was probably raised by Algernon's mother, you know? That's what the nannies did, you know? She had to be there in this rich crib all day, all night when the parents were out of town doing stuff or going to their fancy balls and galas and events and stuff. And Algernon's mother, she had a little kid and she had to bring the baby with her, you know? So I'm definitely sure that Algernon being in that environment, living probably with Cornelia for the most part, they definitely have some type of history. And we saw that tonight. And that was some passionate it's a passionate kiss, and I felt it all the way to 2018. I felt it. And even in that moment where Nurse Elkins, she came in clutch. She was like, oh, we're going to the city morgue. They have leprosy. You can look under here, but you're probably going to get leprosy and your balls are going to fall off. That was fantastic. But then again, in that moment, Algernon had to hide too, because it wasn't safe for him. But I also love that in the heat of the moment, we were hearing racism out of just about everybody at the Knick today. And then when stuff started going down, people were just people for the most part. But, you know, people were getting treated good. So it is 3:16 a.m., but I am faux show about to watch another episode because I really want to see what's happening next. But this is episode 7, and I'm pretty sure there's only 10 in this season. So I'm getting really, really close to the second season, which is the last season, which sucks too. If you enjoyed this reaction, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Gallinger came back from losing his daughter and sees that Algernon is doing surgeries now, sees his crazy suction machine, and also Algernon and Cordelia were making out all passionate like and stuff, and Nurse Elkins and Thackeray hooked up, but it was crazy because it was her first time, and he was like, I'll make it painless. I think he put cocaine on her cuda.